In this video, we're going to talk about WordPress themes, and in particular, premium themes. That is, the themes that actually cost money to use, and just have a brief discussion as to whether or not they're worth the money that you would pay for them. Now, there's a saying out there, the best things in life are always free, and it's not always the case. In fact, the best things in life are not always free. Very often they're worth paying for, and that's the basic stance that we're going to take throughout this. So here's a few of the top reasons why we feel that the premium WordPress themes that are out there are absolutely worth the money. The very first one is better quality. So between free themes, and there's thousands and thousands of free themes that are out there, between the free themes and the premium themes, you will find that premium themes offer better quality. Why is that? Of course, because you've got somebody that is actually dedicated to making this a good product because they're making money from it. They're actually professionals. They're not doing it as a hobby. They're not doing it for now and then maybe they stop supporting it later. This is something that they want to do for a living. They've created this. They've got companies around this particular product and you've got professionals behind you. That also comes, of course, with access to tech support, which is huge when it comes to working with WordPress. Now, there's the ability to stand out. A lot of these WordPress themes, because again, free themes tend to be edits of the original default WordPress theme, or they're just kind of basic and they kind of blah, to be honest. They sort of just all sort of blend together. But you can actually stand out a whole lot easier when you're using a premium theme. Now, this is also dependent upon which of the premium themes. You can, of course, buy a lot of different themes that all sort of look the same. But one that we like in particular for this reason, because it is so incredibly flexible, is WordPress. Now, that's because we use it for marketing. We do a lot of marketing, obviously, on this site. And so it's perfect for sales pages and squeeze pages. And because it's kind of drag and drop, there's a lot of different things that you can do with it. In fact, let me go ahead and show you I'll show you the sales page here real quick so you know what we're talking about. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and Google Optimize Press. You'll see that pops up right away. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And what I'm hoping, I'm going to stop this video from playing, but you can get a little demonstration of the video. But you can see sort of some screenshots of how this works. It actually drags and drops these different, what they call elements, into the screen. And you can create a pretty modular looking, you have all these different things you can do. And you can create a pretty modular looking page. In fact, this particular page was built using Optimize Press, as you might imagine. So it's a pretty impressive program, and you don't need to know a whole lot of details about it. So it's something that we use actually for our blog. We also use it for any of our sales pages and squeeze pages and all that. Worth taking a look at, especially if you are in the business of online marketing at all, or if you've got a business online that you're just trying to make a little bit of money. Now let's talk about better functionality. Now this is all about what your particular site will be able to do with the theme that you purchase it. Now, we just talked about Optimize Press and how much it's got the flexibility sort of built in, so we can do a lot of different things. But what if we weren't marketers? What if instead we were a professional photographer and we wanted a site that really showcased our photos? Now, to be honest, a theme like Optimize Press just isn't worth the money in that case because it's not built for that, right? It's not the functionality that we need. We would need a theme that is customized for photographers. So let's take a look and see what that might look like. Back into our friend Google, and I'm going to type in Theme Forest, which is another great place to find premium themes. We're going to go ahead and click here. And with Theme Forest, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to search for photography, just to see what pops up. And you can see all these different WordPress themes that are popping up for photography. So I'm going to just click in this first one here because it happened to pop up first. Go to a live preview. And you can see, if I'm a photographer, how much is the image important to me? And you can see just how cool this looks. It focuses entirely on the image. So I go through there, it shows my photography. People can click to enter the site. And then it drops me into this particular site. So, and I can go through and have gallery descriptions. And this shows you, just as again, this is a demonstration site that they've created to show you just what this theme can do. And this is all WordPress. Now it looks completely different than any site that we do for our own business, but it still uses WordPress. It's one of the reasons we just love WordPress because of how much you can do with it. And you can see all the different sections that it would have. So that gives you a little bit of an example of the functionality of the site. Again, being a photographer, we want something that's a little easier to manage for a photographer. And when you use a premium theme, it's easier to adjust things because it's made for what you want to do. So in this case, it's like if I wanted to go through as a photographer and add additional images, I bet you that theme we just looked at would be really easy to do that with because it's built for that. So let's go ahead and talk about security. This is incredibly important, often overlooked, especially in the beginning when you first get a WordPress site, because you maybe just don't think about that. But there are, how do we put this gently? There are people out there who primarily for fun, some of them do it maliciously, but a lot of them just do it to see if they can. Try to crack sites. They try to hack your site. They try to take it down. They put a little page up. It's happened to us. It's happened to other sites that I've personally owned. It happens to just about everybody that I know that has a website of any sort. And you hear about it in the news all the time, right? So people are constantly trying to hack sites just to see if they can for most of it. But with premium themes, your security level is higher because you've got developers, again, people who are being paid by this, right? This is their livelihood. So it behooves them, it makes sense for them to work out ways to make that theme as secure as possible. Now, there's a case study here that I put down called the Tim Thumb vulnerability. And if you haven't heard of this, this happened a couple of years back in WordPress, and it was a huge security nightmare for WordPress. And just without getting into too much detail, you can always Google it if you want more. But Tim Thumb was just a little tiny file that was part of almost every single theme out there. And what it did was it would take images and it would create thumbnail versions of those images. That's all this thing did, right? And a lot of themes have images of thumbnails. So if you go to our blog, for example, you'll see little tiny images that may be on the first page. And if you click on the blog post, then you see the full images, right? So that's an example of something like Tim Thumb doing its job. But basically this particular script, somebody found a vulnerability to it, and you could hack sites, and you could basically take down WordPress sites if you did not update this particular Tim Thumb file. Now, premium theme users, those of us who had purchased premium themes, what happened was everybody found out about this. All the developers who were supporting their themes went through, fixed it, and they pushed updates out. So then we just had to update through WordPress and we had our fix. We didn't really have to worry about it that much. And for the most part, it didn't affect a lot of those people. But there were a lot more people out there who are using free themes because, again, that's how everybody starts. And if you're thinking about it or if you've already done it, we obviously don't blame you. That's how we started. You always start with free themes, especially when you're starting to learn. But once you decide to do this for a business, switch to premium because it's not a whole ton of money, which we'll get into in just a second. But for the most part, it's a lot more secure because if you had a free theme back then, it was up to you to manually go in and try to figure out how to fix it and replace that particular script. And if you're tech savvy, I guess that's something you could do. But for us, it was just like push button simple. We just updated the theme and it was fixed. Now, WordPress, there's always going to be security issues because it's a cat and mouse game. There's people out there who try to make it weaker by cracking it. And there's people out there, a lot more people, ideally, that are actually trying to make it safer and more secure. So it's this cat and mouse game between those two. And as there are vulnerabilities that are found, just as quickly there are people who are fixing those vulnerabilities and pushing out updates. So for us, it's worth a tiny amount of money. The other thing that's important is tech support. So premium themes tend to have plenty of support behind them. And now the best part about this is it's not reliant just on the developer, though developers have great support. I mean, we use OptimizePress. We've used OptimizePress's support team quite a bit, and they're awesome. They come back with, not instant, but pretty close to quick answers within 24 hours, which is fantastic for email support. But what's really important is because it's a premium theme, chances are there are hundreds, if not thousands of other users for that particular theme. So you can Google to see if somebody else ran into this issue or has a fix. Chances are there's a support forum that exists for it. And so you can talk with other users and peers who are actually using the same theme and may have come across that challenge and can offer advice. And because you've got these communities that are around this particular theme, the developers are getting tons of different feedback and feature requests, and they're constantly updating and tweaking with their teams to fix the bugs and then add new features and of course push those updates through. So you've always got the latest and greatest with whatever theme that you purchased. Variety is another huge reason that we like these themes, again, premium themes, because depending upon your business needs and personal taste, you can find something that's going to fit exactly what your particular situation needs. Now, we talked about for us as marketers, we use OptimizePress. If we were a photographer, we would use something like that theme that we showed you a little bit earlier in this video. But there's thousands of different types of themes out there. So I'm going to jump back into Theme Forest here real quick. And instead of this photography theme, let's go ahead and type in e-commerce, because let's pretend for a second we are an online store and we have lots of little goods that we want to sell. So there's a WordPress theme. We're just going to click on this first one here, called Glammy. It looks like this is made specifically for fashion. So this is what's so cool about WordPress, because it's so specific with these premium themes. So this may not be good for if we were selling, for example, pots and pans, but if we click on the live preview here, you can see Glammy is all built for us to actually sell fashion. So if you are a fashion designer, or if you just have a fashion resale shop, or maybe a small shop that you want to put a WordPress theme to, this is built for you. This is already built for you. All you need to do is put in and customize all your different images with whatever your particular products are, add the descriptions, put in your pricing. It really is. It's amazing. So this theme is completely customized, and that just gives you an example again of just how powerful the variety is that's out there. And we've only searched for 2. You can just get lost in these things. It's really amazing. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the money, because at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, how much is your time worth? Now, free themes, again, they're going to require maintenance of some sort. That's going to require checking out and making sure that you're Googling to make sure that particular theme is updated as much as it can be, to make sure there's no vulnerabilities to it. If you have any problems, you're probably going to be on your own, because there's not going to be a whole lot of dedicated support to it, because no one's making money. And really, at the end of the day, I don't know if you saw this, but I'm going to jump back into Theme Forest here real quick. Take a look at how much these prices are. You can see this entire theme, this entire online e-commerce theme was $55. That's it, $55. So I'm going to click on WordPress here, just pull up general themes, 45, 45, 55. So let's go ahead and sort by price. $25, $25, $25. So you can see these are not expensive things. There are tons of themes that are out there. This is just one site, Theme Forest. There's a lot of other ones that I'll get to in just a second to let you get some ideas, but there's just tons that are out there. They are really, at the end of the day, incredibly cheap. To pay $25 for something. Here's a cafe and restaurant theme. If you have a cafe or restaurant, if you like this, it's $25. It's customized for your particular needs. At the end of the day, it's absolutely worth it to make the move to a premium theme. And finally, before we move on to the next slide, there's one little dirty secret that if you don't know already, and if you're a WordPress user, you probably know this, but if you're just sort of investigating maybe WordPress and seeing what this whole thing's about, professional developers, what they mostly do is they will go and they will buy one of those themes that we just showed you. So a theme like that, if it was a fashion design store and you were paying somebody to design a WordPress theme, the chances are excellent they're going to go to a site like Theme Forest. They're going to purchase that theme, and they're basically just going to do the manual labor and enter in all those different graphics and things like that. Now, if you have the money for that and you just don't want to deal with that, that's awesome. But that's what they're doing. So if you don't necessarily have all the money, but you've got, in that case, it was what, $55, I think. So you buy that theme, you take a little bit of time. Maybe you're building a side business as you're working your full-time job. So spend a few minutes a day sort of filling that theme with different graphics and things along those lines. And you get amazing, amazing results. The question again, are premium WordPress themes worth the money? Say it with me. Yes, they are. Absolutely, they are. Premium themes. We love premium themes. So here's your seriously simple marketing hack. Now, if you're interested in premium themes, if we have at all convinced you that it's worth investigating, here's what I want you to do. Go take a look at these themes. Optimize Press. Go check out Thrive Themes, which is another particular useful theme for drag and drop functionality. There's a place called Woo Themes, and all of these you can Google. We're also going to have links, of course, in our blog post. And then Elegant Themes is another great theme shopping site, which is exactly kind of like Theme Forest, which you've already seen on the example of this video. So take a look at those just so you get an idea of what is out there and the possibilities that are out there. And then you're going to browse through and you're going to decide based upon what your particular needs are. Maybe pick 5 to 10 different premium themes, go through the live demos to decide which one is going to be the better fit. And at the end of the day, they're kind of cheap, right? So you could pick your best one. If you have a limited budget, pick the one that you think is going to be the best. But otherwise, you might pick 2 or 3. And if the live demos aren't giving you enough, you could actually purchase 2 or 3, install them, try them out, see if they actually fit your needs, and then ultimately go and customize your site. Of course, for more information on this or any other topic about WordPress, marketing, sales pages, conversions, analytics, just visit us at seriouslysimplemarketing.com. And if you are, of course, watching this video on the blog post, please leave a comment if you have any questions or if you've got other resources that you want to share. We would love to see your comments there. Thanks again for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.